A fast-moving fire in Wasco County has doubled in size, forcing some evacuations in the gorge. The microwave tower fire now covers 300 acres after flames spread quickly through grass and timber near Mosier. Thanks for joining us. I'm China Green. Now, this morning, smoke-coated roadways through northern Wasco County while crews continue to fight the flames. Thomas Schultz joins us live. And Thomas, you've been there since 5 a.m. How has it changed since you got there?
Yeah, well, China, fortunately, some of that smoke is dissipating, though it's still really dry conditions. Now, just over the past few minutes, we've started to see some planes that are going near the Columbia River, presumably to pick up water and then to drop it on this fire. And also check this out. Just a few minutes ago, more crews are arriving on scene here in North Wasco County as they continue to fight this fire and bring more people here too. Now, fortunately, wind for the most part has died down here. Those spot fires are sparking on dry grassland, and along Hood River Road near the microwave towers, fire climbed this ridge all morning long. Smoke was heavy as well. Debris and ash also filling the air, though so far a spokesperson with the Oregon Department of Forestry says they're not aware of any structures being damaged. Thankfully, there's no reports of injuries either, as crews from across the state work to contain this fire, which is now 300 acres, 0% contained. It's led to evacuations of some Mosier residents with shelter just minutes away at the Hood River Middle School. Still, Red Cross volunteers say many are choosing to instead hunker down at home, waiting to see what happens next. So overnight, Wasco County expanded its level to get set evacuation area south of the fire as firefighters work against difficult terrain, hoping to contain this blaze.
The fire and smoke is kind of backing down 84. It's a pretty steep slope, so you can't really get a lot of heavy equipment in there to push the vegetation, so you have to do hand crew and aerial.
And that's the plan today, try to attack this fire predominantly through the air, though that spokesperson mentioned too, dry conditions continue to be a factor here in Wasco County. China.
Our Thomas Schultz reporting live from Mosier. Thank you, Thomas. All right, time to look at weather and the impact that it's having on these fires, Ron.
Yeah, I think, Thomas summed it up nicely. Really, the biggest struggle that fire crews are battling is simply how dry we are coming off of 3 weeks of incredibly hot, or at the very least, well above normal temperatures in our region. Now, behind me is the Oregon Veterans Home camera in the Dalles. Thomas mentioned the smoke seems to be laying down or thinning out somewhat. He's been there since, 5 o'clock this morning. Here you can see some of that smoky haze laying down over the land. This is from the Dalles looking back toward the west, toward where that fire is. Generally speaking, it's not that smoky out in the gorge overall, except for proximity to the fire. Our watch warning map does have in gray air alerts out, air quality alerts because of bad wildfire smoke. This is east of the fire zone, actually, into Pendleton, also down around Medford. And then you have red flag warnings down around Burns, the red colors for high fire danger. The air quality is somewhat improved across a good portion of our state today. The worst is still Harney County, over in northern Malheur County, and then right along the Idaho border. But we've seen improving air quality today in Central Oregon and also so far out toward Pendleton. Our smoke map, this does pick up the plume from the smoke there in Wasco County, where Thomas is reporting live for us, and the westerly winds will continue to push that smoke toward Pendleton. But here's the worst cluster of really bad thick wildfire smoke in between Burns and Baker City. Winds have pretty much laid down. The Dalles has been reporting winds under 10 miles per hour most of the morning. That's certainly good news. Portland right now, 70 degrees. No issues here on the west side of our state. And if you're watching us for your afternoon plans, well, here are the numbers. 76 at noon, 83 at 5 o'clock. Of course, your 7-day forecast is coming up.
Rod, thank you. And right now, I-84 is closed in both directions between Baker City and Ontario because of the Durkee fire, which officials say is rapidly expanding towards the highway in the Farewell Bend area. Officials say the fire has burned more than 230,000 acres. Crews have been working day and night to contain these flames. ODOT is urging drivers to avoid the area and use alternative routes. You can use tripcheck.com to track highway conditions and closures because those can change at a moment's notice, as you know. We are also following a wildfire evacuation in southern Washington's Klickitat County. Level 3 Go Now evacuations are in place from the Big Horn Fire. It's burning near the town of Bickleton. Evacuations include people on the East Road to Sand Ridge Road and Alder Creek south to the Columbia River. The Bighorn Fire has burned at least 1,200 acres since it started about 1 o'clock yesterday. Fire crews are fighting the flames from the ground and air. We have no word yet on what caused this fire. We'll be keeping an eye on all of the wildfire developments in our region and passing the information to you on air and online. For the latest updates, visit KGW.com or download our KGW app. Today, U.S. Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle has resigned. The announcement comes a day after Cheadle faced questions from lawmakers of both parties over the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump and growing calls to step down. She told lawmakers at the hearing that the attempt on Trump's life was the Secret Service's, quote, most significant operational failure in decades, and that she takes full responsibility for the security lapse.
In the next 106 days, we have work to do. We have doors to knock on. We have people to talk to. We have phone calls to make. And we have an election to win.
Today, the Associated Press is reporting Vice President Kamala Harris has enough support from Democratic delegates to become the presidential nominee. The AP surveyed delegates across the country and found Harris has well over the 1,976 delegates she needs to secure the nomination, but nothing is official yet. So far, Harris' campaign has raised a record $81 million in the first 24 hours after Biden's announcement, though. President Biden also plans to address the nation tomorrow night about his decision not to seek a second term in office. The location for his speech hasn't been finalized yet, but this will be his first public address since the decision to exit the presidential race. Now, things have quickly moved since that announcement on Sunday morning, but what happens next here? KGW's Alma McCarty spoke with a political expert and an Oregon delegate to break down what you need to know.
Support builds for Vice President Kamala Harris a day after President Biden stepped down.
It was a big decision yesterday for him.
In Oregon, top leaders like Governor Tina Kotek quickly endorsed Vice President Harris.
She is smart, she is strong, she is the right person to lead our country here in the next 4 years.
Ahead of the Democratic National Convention, many delegates expressed agreement. The AP's unofficial tally indicates Harris will likely have the backing of the more than 1,976 delegates she'll need to win on a first ballot.
It's historic. Absolutely historic.
Moses Ross is one of Oregon's 78 delegates. He is also running for Portland City Council District 4. He believes the choice is clear.
I don't see this being as a contested convention. I really don't. I think that my feeling of the pulse of the Democrats is that they're 100% behind Vice President Harris, and they also admire and respect President Biden's decision to do what he has done.
Biden's entire message and Trump's entire message was, put me back in so that I can finish what I started. She can say, yeah, it was a good start, but here's where we need to go with Harris as president.
So what's next? Jim Moore, politics professor at Pacific University, predicts Vice President Harris will name her running mate by the end of this week or beginning of next. Then, by August 7th, the Democratic delegates will choose the presidential nominee in an online vote. The convention then begins August 19th.
This is all normal process, but now it's in a really compressed time span. That's what makes it seem so different. But it's basically following the same rules, doing the same things that would have happened if Biden had stayed in.
So you heard Alma mention an August 7th date when the party plans to pick a nominee before the convention. That will help ensure that the Democratic candidate is included on the ballot in all states.